Hello everyone and welcome to May B&B 724 YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hayes and Sheila's rage is captured by Luna. According to the bold and the beautiful forecasts, Sheila Carter will lose it when Luna Nozawa kidnaps Hayes Forrester Finnegan. My predictions include Sheila and Luna, Nick and Ridge Forrester, Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes, Remy Price and Luna and Hayes. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful. Will Hayes be abducted by Luna? Luna abducts her brother, Hayes, as per our first forecast. According to this week's spoilers, Hayes and Steffy Forrester are hanging out while Luna lurks and observes using a telephoto lens. Her son appears to be attending summer camp. Luna then goes up to her brother and presents Hayes with a present. Luna recently stated that if Steffy understood what it was like for a parent to be kept from a kid, she might feel differently about keeping Luna from Finn. Perhaps that is the strategy. Hayes is informed by Luna that she has something for him. Is she attempting to entice him away, though? Is this candy, do you know? Is this a toy? Would Luna inform Hayes that she is his sister, that they must be together, and that they will be meeting their father? That kind of thing. Something to fool the child. Additionally, she might lose it if Hayes claims that he only has one sister, and that is Kelly Spencer. In an attempt to make Steffy and Finn feel as horrible as she does about being without her father, Luna would kidnap Hayes as retaliation for their rejection. Brave spoilers. Does Luna go crazy? In a perverse manner, Luna might believe that her actions are acceptable since they are necessary to express her feelings to Steffy. Despite her insistence that she has no intention of harming her younger brother, Hayes, Luna is merely attempting to show Steffy what it's like. I could absolutely picture Luna justifying it and removing the child without any real intention of hurting him. For example, I doubt Luna would kidnap him and poison him or hurl him off a roof, or anything like. She only wants to express her feelings to Steffy, in my opinion. We'll see if she follows through on this. Predictions for Bold and the Beautiful. Luna abducts Hayes and Sheila flips soap date. Sheila's fury. A brave and lovely forecast of Luna targeting Hayes. According to our second hypothesis, Sheila feels incensed that Luna is pursuing Hayes. In order to safeguard Steffy, Sheila is clearly frantic to get Luna out of town and out of Los Angeles. Even though she is unable to be in Finn's family's lives, Sheila still cares about them because they are very important to him. Sheila had previously expressed her serious concerns for Steffy's safety to Deacon Sharp, and there will be more information about that soon. However, she might also learn more about her grandson, Hayes, and become quite concerned since, in my opinion, Sheila would become enraged if Luna were to steal Hayes. Given that Sheila entertained Luna and played a significant role in her decision to delay leaving Los Angeles after receiving her pardon, I believe she would be extremely angry with both Luna and herself. Since everyone is now aware that Luna has been hanging out with Sheila, we might also have Finn call Sheila in the event that Hayes disappears. And since Luna will undoubtedly be the main suspect if anything happens to Hayes, I believe they will contact everyone who might be connected to her in order to find out what occurred if the child does go missing. I believe Sheila will go crazy even if Luna doesn't kidnap him if she even gets the slightest suspicion that she is interested in Hayes. Because that would be Sheila picking Hayes over Luna, I believe she would step in and tell Luna, "You stay away from my grandson, you crazy person." That would likely push Luna even farther over the brink. Which she ought do, given that he is only a young child. However, Luna believes that Finn favored Hayes over her, and now Sheila is doing the same. Therefore, any of those could make Luna further crazier. Nick's retaliation. Audacious and gorgeous spoilers for rekindling love with Brooke. Our final prediction is that Ridge will be directly irritated by Nick's success and rekindled romance with Brooke. According to Monday's spoilers, Nick unexpectedly shows up at the CEO's office at Forrester Creation, and he and Brooke have an emotional reunion. Not Brick and Brooke. Nick is getting started right away on Tuesday. He is in love with Brooke. He gives her a long, passionate kiss. There is a reunion and an intense heart-to-heart conversation. By Wednesday, Nick is really irritating Ridge. And this week, Ridge is telling Taylor he just doesn't like his brother and just won't ever like him. In an interview with Jack Wagner, He discussed Nick's current level of success and riches and how confident he is. This time around on Bold and the Beautiful, Nick is essentially a whole different man. He is in charge of Maroon's shipping. He's tremendously affluent. Additionally, he is quite confident in himself and intentionally pushes Ridge's buttons by pressing and prodding him. Nick believes that Brooke is superior to Ridge and is certain that he deserves better. Given that he's doing so well in life and that he's getting back together with Brooke, I do have a suspicion that Nick will go out of his way to irritate Ridge and irritate his nose. You know, the whole one-man thing. Nick is determined to give her the life that Ridge hasn't given her. Nick has also been with multiple Logans, so his hands aren't exactly clean. Brave and lovely forecasts. Brooke makes fun of Taylor with Nick and Ridge's love. In our fourth prediction, Brooke makes fun of Taylor by saying that both Nick and Ridge are interested in her. Taylor and Ridge are discussing their relationship and Brooke's continued involvement on Tuesday. By Friday, Brooke and Taylor are at odds over Ridge and Nick. Thus, Brooke is being enchanted by Nick. And it's obvious that Ridge will find it annoying. I think Brooke might be making fun of Taylor. Nick is on a quest to win Brooke back and prove to her that Ridge is toxic when he returns to Los Angeles. Given that Nick is after her, Brooke may be feeling quite smug. Furthermore, even if Brooke doesn't genuinely believe Ridge will leave Taylor, we can still witness her tormenting her because she is so envious that Taylor is seeing Ridge. I could also imagine Nick getting involved, putting pressure on Taylor, and telling her, you know, you can have Ridge. He is a waffler. Because he can't treat a lady properly, he will shatter your heart. Which oddly in a recent interview, Torsten K again emphasized he hates the way that Ridge treats women. I'm delighted he's on the same page with the rest of us. Nick's impression of his brother Ridge is quite negative, and it seems to be accurate. Remy's engagement, audacious and gorgeous hints on Luna's target. Our fifth and last forecast. Remy might become entangled in Luna's scheme to harm her brother. Remy might so unintentionally or unwittingly assist Luna in her evil scheme involving little Hayes Finnegan. Remy went up at Luna's flat despite having witnessed Luna shooting at Steffy's face in that photo at the shooting range. Therefore, it appears that Remy has not finished his portion of this arc yet. Naturally, we are aware that Lisa Yamada is en route to film her prime show. There will be a significant event that will result in her being sent back to prison in a body bag on the lam. We shall see. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful. Does Remy assist Luna? Luna might deceive Remy into assisting her if she does end up snatching the child. Perhaps she asks him to wait in the car while she conducts an errand, but then Luna shoos the child into the trunk and yells, "Drive!" Or she has Hayes at her apartment and arranges for Remy to watch him while she prepares her alibi. If Luna believes the police are after her, she might take Hayes to Remy's house to hide him. Remy is a pervert and trash, you know. However, he is not a homicidal maniac as Luna is. Remy might allow Luna to mislead him, but I'm not sure if it would be homicidally wrong. We shall see. If Luna manages to fool Remy into unintentionally supporting her crazy scheme involving Hayes, he might be truly incensed. Alternatively, Remy might be so incredibly insane that he will find it amusing. During his chats with Luna, he appeared to be rather normal, but we also know that he has a dark and twisted side. Nick incites Ridge's wrath while Luna deceives Hayes with a gift. According to Wednesday, June 18 spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Nick Maroon incites Ridge Forrester's wrath while Luna Nozawa will deceive Hayes Finnegan with a present. When Ridge arrived at Forrester Creations, he discovered Nick and Brooke Logan. Tension between the half-brothers is already beginning to develop because Nick isn't Ridge's favorite person. Naturally, Nick will poke fun at Ridge during Wednesday's B&B show, particularly over his treatment of Brooke. Nick might share that thought with Ridge and greatly agitate him because he believes that he might be Brooke's destiny instead. Even though Ridge is currently dating Taylor Hayes, he still has feelings for Brooke. The bond between Ridge and Brooke will always exist, and it will undoubtedly make Ridge feel a little possessive when he battles Nick. Hayes will be approached by Luna outside the beach house, where the school has been holding its summer art program. In the meantime, when Luna shows up and presents Hayes a gift, he will be by himself. Thus it will be intriguing to observe what it is. Luna might show Hayes a photo of herself with Daddy John Finn Finnegan from a more carefree era when he still believed she was simply his adorable adoptive cousin, since she will likely want to emphasize their relationship as siblings. However, Luna might give her a souvenir that Finn used to give her. Hey, everything that would help deceive Hayes and emphasize their shared connection to Finn will be effective. When Hayes is finished for the day, Electra Forrester is meant to pick him up, but Luna might prevent her from doing so. Luna might take advantage of this to pretend that there was a change of plans and that Finn asked her to pick Hayes up instead. Stay tuned for updates on Luna's future moves and the concerning Hayes news that will follow, since it is obvious that she plans to abduct Hayes at some point. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy is in for some terrifying surprises in the upcoming episodes. Luna Nozawa stood concealed beneath the swaying trees close to Malibu Ridge Camp on a warm, shimmering afternoon in Los Angeles, the kind where secrets simmer beneath the surface of glossy, privileged lives. Her heartbeat was pounding in time with the trembling zoom of the telephoto lens she was holding. She was hiding behind a thick hedge of oleanders when she caught a glimpse of her half-brother Hayes Forrester Finnegan laughing idly with his mother Steffy Forrester, unaware of the emotional devastation that had turned Luna into the desperate person she was soon to become. Her fingers quivered as she saw Hayes' naive smile, which was so radiant and unjustly unaffected by the suffering Luna had gone through after discovering the truth about her father and the broken bloodlines that bound her to this wealthy, privileged family, leaving her on the outside looking in. After her breakup with Steffy and Finn, her brother and blood relative, Luna's once balanced and logical thinking had become shattered. They had abandoned her and disregarded her like a mistake they wished had never been made. Steffy had surrounded her house, her family, and even her child, defying Luna's authority as a mother, despite her pleas for acceptance and a chance to be recognized and loved. But sometimes you kick doors off their hinges when they are slammed shut. Luna had learnt from the expert herself, Sheila, the woman whose blood throbbed in her own veins like wildfire. Her strategy then started to take shape. It wasn't about reasoning or begging today. Taking what was Hayes was the focus of today. With her back to her for a brief while, she watched as Steffy moved aside to take a call, a moment Luna had prayed for. She moved stealthily out of her hiding spot, sunglasses concealing her identity and her blonde hair tucked behind a baseball cap. She walked towards Hayes, who was sitting cross-legged in the grass, humming as he looked at a pebble he had discovered, her hands shaking. Luna murmured, "Hey there," in a soft, melodic voice, and Hayes looked up, bewildered but unfrightened. "Are you fond of gifts?" she inquired, lowering herself to his level and taking out a toy drone with blinking lights from her tote bag. Hayes' eyes glowed. "Whoa, that's awesome," he exclaimed, pulled to the glowing, buzzing item out of instinct. "Do you wish to pilot it?" As she saw his little fingers go for the gadget, she continued to entice him with her whisper. "We can try it out at the park. It's an unexpected present, from someone very special." Hayes paused, glancing towards the spot where Steffy was still facing away. The words, "Mummy says not to talk to strangers," sliced like a sharp sword through Luna's determination, but she pulled herself together. She whispered, "I'm not a stranger," her voice quivering with repressed rage and want. "Your sister is me," Hayes said, blinking. "My sister's name is Kelly." The name, said with such naive determination, broke something deep inside Luna. "No, I'm your real sister," she responded, her voice suddenly deeper. "Additionally, our Father desires for us to be united." She then grabbed for Hayes' hand and gently pulled him to his feet, saying, "Just for a little while." As Luna slipped the youngster into the waiting SUV, barely out of sight, the drone buzzed to life, a deception, the sound of the motor drowned out by the breeze and the distant crash of waves. Steffi's heart stopped as she looked across the deserted field, turning around just in time. "Hayes!" she called in a shrill, frantic voice. "Yes." As the terror set in, the drone rested idly in the grass, taunting her. Hayes was sleeping in the back seat, lulled by the sound of the road and the prospect of meeting a father he hardly knew, as Luna drove miles away, tears flowing down her face. However, Luna had more in store. No, this was only the start. The world would never forget Sheila Carter's response as the news of Hayes' disappearance erupted like a grenade among the Forrester family. Sheila lost her mind and tore through her living room like a savage animal when she learnt that her grandchild had been abducted by her own daughter. She yelled at Finn, at Deacon, and at the sky with wild eyes. "You allowed that girl to come this far, even if she had my blood in her veins," she yelled as she reached for her phone and dialed each number in her dark Rolodex. "We'll track her down, and she will wish she had never been born when I do." All of a sudden, Sheila was more than just a protective grandmother. She was a ticking time bomb. Luna, meanwhile, took refuge in a secluded mountain cabin that had formerly belonged to her father, Jack Finnegan, whose guilt and desertion had sparked this whole nightmare. While Hayes slept in the adjacent room, Luna paced, sinking further into her fantasy world, picturing a scenario in which Hayes picked her over Steffy. Nick Marone intervened and assured her that everything would be all right, and Ridge Forrester at last acknowledged that she had always been more than an outsider. However, the outside world was getting closer. Leading the Forrester security team with Carter Walton and Bill Spencer, Ridge was furious and demanding results. As the ever-pragmatist Brooke Logan cautioned that Luna's devotion was too similar to Sheila's, Taylor Hayes broke down in tears and blamed herself for the gap between Finn and Luna. The family was about to fall apart. Luna went back to the cabin and used her phone to record a video message. "Steffy," she said in a raw voice, "you now understand what it's like to be separated from someone you care about." I didn't wish to do harm to anyone. Unaware that a tracker embedded in Hayes' toy was going to reveal her location, she sent it to Steffy's phone right before turning off the signal. I just wanted to matter. Remy Price, the enigmatic and darkly endearing man who had always been one step ahead of Luna and now had his own motivations for locating Hayes before Sheila did, was already pursuing her, though. Luna froze when he arrived at the cottage. "Did you follow me?" she muttered. Remy took a step forward. Luna shook her head, saying, "I'm here to help you, but this has gone too far." But Remy wasn't going anywhere without the youngster. "No one ever helps me unless I force them to." Sheila, armed and insane, descended on the mountain at the same moment, tearing through the forest like a natural force. The sight of Luna standing guardedly in front of Hayes, who appeared bewildered and afraid, stopped her cold as she arrived at the cabin and rushed inside. "Avoid him," Sheila snarled. Luna's mouth twisted. Sheila lifted her revolver and said, "He's my brother. He is my grandchild. And you're acting just like me, but without the experience." Remy stepped in between them. "Cease. This is over." However, it didn't, not just yet, because Sheila's heart broke when Hayes screamed out and reached for her. "Nana," he whimpered. She was totally disarmed by just one word. Police came amid the ensuing mayhem after being notified by Ridge's connections and the tracker, screaming, "I'm his sister." Luna was arrested. All I wanted was to fit in. When Hayes and Steffy were reunited, Steffy broke down in tears and clutched her son tightly. And Sheila stood outside, watching her daughter with a mixture of rage and sympathy, while Luna sat in the back of a cop vehicle, her face pressed against the window. Her voice trembled as she added, "You were supposed to be better than me. Perhaps, though, you never had a chance." Nick Marone later made a comeback, barging into the Forrester estate and demanding explanations. "When my daughter needed someone, where in the world were you all?" he yelled at Ridge and Brooke, rekindling long-standing animosities. Brooke accused Taylor of ignoring the warning flags, while Ridge blamed Nick for Luna's volatility. Devastated, Taylor attempted to contact Luna in the prison, pleading with her to mend the damage, but Luna would not see her. Tormented, Finn went to see his sister and eventually lost it. "Why didn't you approach me?" he inquired. The quiet between them was sealed when she muttered, "I did, but you chose them." Meanwhile, Remy Price vanished as fast as he emerged, but there were rumors that he had made a deal with Sheila to get out of being prosecuted. Before Steffi regained her son the following day with a court order, Sheila herself brought Hayes back to her home for the night and vowed to protect him from everyone, including his own family. However, nothing was ever the same. Hayes started experiencing nightmares. Steffy employed 24-hour security. After Luna was sent to a mental hospital, Sheila paid her a weekly visit, sharing stories and whispering secrets that might have shaped Luna into the next generation of troublemakers, despite the world labeling her a monster. As a woman who had experienced what it meant to be important and would do whatever in the world to ensure that her name was remembered, Luna Nozawa planned her next course of action in that cushioned chamber, where there was just stillness and her dashed hopes.